Okay, we are live and in the building. Let's chat. So much to talk about, man. It has been a while since I went live on here. I've been trying to do that every weekend, and I think I've missed a couple weeks. So my apologies for that. But your boy's back. I posted it on Instagram and on Facebook that I'll be going live at 7. So here we go. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Lots of stuff to talk about for Power Ranger stuff. If you have Battle for the Grid, they just had an update for that. I downloaded that, and it's been pretty fun. I think you have what is it, just the Jungle Fury Ranger. And then I think they have other updates that'll come periodically. So I've been playing that, played a little bit today, and it's been fun. I play online too. So if you want to fight me I play on Nintendo Switch, but I think you can, play on cross dimensional in terms of, the systems. But I play on the Switch, and my name is Moose. Like, it's just called Moose, but with I think 4 or 5 O's in it. So Moose. Look for Moose, and that's my name. I don't know why I chose Moose. My wife says my spirit animal is a moose, so yeah, there's that. If you want to play me on the Switch, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, you want to get your butt whooped. If you guys want these hands, let me know, and we can make that happen. Okay. So other than that, yeah, we have that update. New toy stuff. They just released a picture of the Lord Draken version 3, which looks really cool. I'm really thinking about getting that one. I have the version 1. I have a Funko Pop Draken as well. And I have the Lightning, collector action figure as well, right next to my helmets. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that before. I'm thinking about getting that one. I don't know where I would put it, though. I would have to rearrange some stuff. But it looks really cool. I was like, man, that's one I really kind of want to get my hands on. So let me know what you guys think about all this Lightning Collection stuff. And if you're in the comments, let me know how many of these Lightning Collection, figurines that you have. Because for me, personally, I just collect the ones that I have cosplays to. So like White Ranger, Green Ranger, Lord Draken, Red Beast Morpher. Like, those are all the cosplays that I have. Well, most of them anyway. I got a few other ones, but as far as the Lightning Collection figurines, those are the ones that I have, and I just buy the ones that are more meaningful to me. There are some who are like, nah, I gotta get the entire Lightning Collection. And if that's you, please comment below. I want to know how many of them you guys have. I don't think you can post pictures in here in the chat, but if you can, post a picture. I'd love to see how many of the figurines you guys have, if you can post that in the live. I think that would be really cool. But I'm always fascinated when I see folks that, have just kind of gone through certain lines and they collect it all. I think it's amazing. Like, MMPR Toys, they're a fantastic channel. Everything that they have, it's like a library in terms of their house, in terms of, Power Rangers and, Super Sentai and just action figure history, you name it, man. So there's somebody I would say is like a pinnacle collector. But I know there are others out there. So if that's you, comment below and let me know how many of these figurines that you have. There's that little bit of news as far as the toys and the video games. But today, mainly, as you can see by the title, I really wanted to harness in, and it's been on my brain. I know some other folks have probably already done videos about this, but I wanted to talk about, because you guys know, I review the Power Ranger comics. I do Power Ranger videos. I do Power Ranger cosplay, all this crazy stuff. So, Boom Studios has revealed that we have 2 different teams and storylines that are going to be going on, obviously come October and November, right? And this is something that's not that new to us, because you think about it, they've done the same thing with like Mighty Morphin and Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, where Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers are kind of focused on the team in their early years and kind of dived into some historic things. And then Mighty Morphin, depending on your perspective, it kind of looks at things in the present. So that's a concept that we've been used to from the beginning. And here, this is just an assumption that I have based on the titles. They have the Mighty Morphin, which is focusing on, Tommy being the White Ranger and leading the team, and also with this new mysterious Green Ranger, okay? So that's a new element, which I've always thought that's been cool. This is something that I talked about before. I think I mentioned it in another video that I did recently. But if you guys remember that fan film, it's a Power Ranger fan film, and it's titled, what is it? Teenagers with Attitude. And then they had a spin-off of that where it was the Zordon film. But in that, you know, you had two Tommies. One was a guy, one was a girl, but they're both brother and sister. And the guy was the White Ranger, and the girl Tommy was the Green Ranger. And I thought that that concept was cool, seeing both Green Ranger and White Ranger on the Mighty Morphin team at the same time. I always thought that concept was really cool. So now, when I seen that image for the Mighty Morphin, you know, new story arc that we're getting with this new mysterious Green Ranger, I was like, you know, I think that concept is really cool. That's always been something that I thought was fun and that they could flesh out more of. So I'm gonna come back to that. We're not done because that's the main gist of this video. But aside from that, you also have Power Rangers. So you have the Mighty Morphin, again, where Tommy's leading the team. And then you have the Power Rangers, where it focuses on the Omega Rangers. Again, for those of you who may not be familiar with the Omega Rangers, consists of Jason, Zach, and Trini. You know, they're the original, you know, three that left the team. And then they were replaced with Adam, Aisha, and and then who was the other person? Why am I tripping? Rocky. Yeah, Rocky Red. Duh. I don't know why I'm tripping, but they were replaced by them, right? And so, but the Omega Rangers, you know, it kind of gives us an explanation of like what happened to Jason, Zach, and Trini when they left the team. They still wore Power Rangers, but they were kind of off-world with, you know, this very majestic, what do you call them? Almost like a Watcher type of Ranger. You know, they were doing like an off-world mission. So that was kind of what the Omega Rangers, you know, storyline is. So Power Rangers is focusing on the Omega Rangers, and then Mighty Morphin is focusing on Tommy and his team. But, you know, again, I like the coincide. You got Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, right? It's just like Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin. I'm wondering, again, I'm pretty sure with both of these storylines, you know, they'll probably coincide and come together at some point because you got Mighty Morphin, but you got to have Power Rangers, right? And I'm pretty sure with both of those, they'll somehow match up. Even though they're telling two different stories, at some point, mark my word, they're definitely going to obviously come together in some type of conclusion. So I'm excited for that. I know October and November is when we're, you know, getting some of the deeper into the storyline for these story arcs. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So now going back to this new mysterious Green Ranger. So I've heard a lot of ridiculous, and I say ridiculous, theories out there. But I'm going to talk about the top three that, you know, are kind of consistent. And then I'm going to tell you what I think. Being somebody that's reviewed these comics for a few years, I'm just telling you my gut feeling and what I believe, okay? But here's the thing. It's kind of cheap just putting it out there. Are you talking about the comics? You know, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I'm just excited to see what they're going to do. Oh, you're talking about the new Green Ranger. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about it. You know, but Boom always throws us surprises. That's the thing. You know, I kind of roll with it until we get a story out there. But I know. Me, I'm an avid Tommy fan. I love Tommy. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. But I've been there, too, where it's like, okay, why don't we, you know, do a little break on all the Tommy stuff and bring in some other characters that aren't necessarily Mighty Morphin. If you pay attention to Boom, they steal ideas from indie creators. I might have a bias, but I don't respect this, but it is the game. Yeah, you know, I know there's a lot of comics out there and a lot of different storylines, but you know, you are onto something when it comes to, I think of Shatter Grid, for instance. If you guys read, any DC readers, any DC fans here, I'm sure you guys could look at, you know, some of the stuff they did with like I wouldn't say necessarily Final Crisis, but, you know, Rebirth, and some of that storyline. I'm sure if you're a DC reader and you know, read Shatter Grid, you'd be like, okay, I can definitely see where they borrowed or, you know, got inspiration from in terms of that storyline. And I've heard that a lot. So that's just something to think about. But anyway, top three, theories that are thrown out there. There's this character called Matt Reeves that's in. I think he was introduced in the Mighty Morphin comics first, and then we've seen a little bit of him in Saban's Go Go Power Rangers. But Matt Reeves, anyway, he's the ex-boyfriend to the Pink Ranger Kimberly. So they dated for a while, and Matt's character's always been very interesting to me because he's this guy that he was friends with all of the Rangers before he knew they were Rangers, right? And something ended up happening where he found out about their identities. He was kidnapped by Rita Repulsa for a little while. And him and Kimberly's relationship kind of got rocky, and all of the friends, because he found out like, oh, you guys have been keeping this secret from me, but I'm your friend. And it's kind of one of those things as a Ranger, by oath they can't tell anyone their identity. We all know that, especially if you watch the show, you read the comics, you kind of know that's just a Power Ranger thing. So Matt Reeves is the ex-boyfriend to the Pink Ranger Kimberly, and he knows who the Rangers are. He knows they're his old buddies, his friends. And he's kind of he just kind of pops in and out through different, comics for the Power Rangers. And I find him interesting and kind of unnerving because I'm like, I don't see him being a Power Ranger. I don't see him being this new Green Ranger, even though I see some people who are like, yeah, I think it'd be cool to have Matt being the new Green Ranger. But I feel like, what's the reasoning behind that? What's the need to make him the new Green Ranger when you already have this solid team? If there's this other threat that's coming to Angel Grove, that's coming to the Earth, I don't really see Zordon going out of his way to make Matt the new Green Ranger if there's this threat. And plus, mind you, who just came into town during this time? Lord Draken, right? We don't know that he has any powers on him or not, but, to me, I don't really see Matt. There's not an immediate need to make him this new mysterious Green Ranger. So that's a theory that's been thrown out. And again, I look at it from a comedic standpoint of view. Why would Tommy Oliver, who is dating Kimberly at the time, I'm pretty sure he is dating her at the time right now, right? You think the leader of the Power Rangers is going to invite his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, like his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, to be on their team and wear his old clothes? Y'all think he's going to do that? No, there's no way. There's no way in hell he's going to do that. Like, okay, the girl I'm dating, I'm going to bring her ex-boyfriend onto the team and let him wear my old clothes, my hand-me-downs. Like, there's no way Tommy's going to do that. Come on. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. And as being a Tommy fan, it doesn't seem right, like, letting someone else wear that gear, wear that morpher, using those powers, unless it's directly connected to him, if that makes sense. To me, some of you may totally disagree with that and be like, you know what, dude, it could be like Green Lantern, or like the Lantern Corps where, you have a Green Ranger Corps and anybody could take up that power, right? Like, I think that could be cool, but I just don't see it being Matt. And especially with Tommy Oliver being such a iconic character, I don't see anyone else donning that uniform. It just doesn't make sense, and it would feel unnatural to me. So the other theory is this. Some people, as far as the information that we've gotten for this new story arc, for the Rangers to be successful and defeat this new enemy, a secret of Zordon's past is something that they have to tap into, which apparently is going to change a lot of different things and the way they see themselves, apparently. So some people are like, well, could this new mysterious Green Ranger be Zordon? Like, maybe his, energy and, I don't know, maybe his head gets sucked into the morpher and then he is able to have a physical body when he morphs. I don't know. There's been some people who think it could be Zordon. So that's another theory that's been thrown out, right? And I don't really see that necessarily being the case. I see them doing what they did before, like in Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, where if you notice, we always had a flashback. We always had a moment where we went back into the past, tapped into, something within the storylines and kind of filled in, plot holes. I kind of see them doing something like that with Zordon, where it's like, okay, we have to go back through the past, look at Zordon's past, teaching us more about him, because that is interesting. We didn't really get that in the series. So I think they're going to explore more of that, and whatever we learn in the past is going to help us in the present in terms of Zordon and the Power Rangers being successful. That's kind of how I think about it. So I don't really see Zordon or Matt Reeves being this new mysterious Green Ranger. My number one opinion, and I said this early on, even when I first seen the art, and when I heard that Lord Draken was coming back, I was like, well, Lord Draken just came back. And he is contained in the Power Rangers Command Center. And he said there's this massive threat that's on its way and that everyone should be afraid. And then apparently Lord Draken is going to be teamed up with the Omega Rangers. He's going to be an ally to them. So I believe 100%, and you guys could quote me on this, I believe that this new mysterious Green Ranger obviously is going to be Lord Draken. It just makes sense. Like, guys, I don't really, like I said before, I don't see Tommy Oliver allowing, it's just, this is his Ranger. You know what I mean? Like, this is his power. So if anyone else is going to wear it, if anyone else is going to use that power, I think it should be a different version of himself. To me, it just makes sense. What's the need for anyone else to don that power? And, you know, I look at other little things like physicality. You look at the shape and the body shape of this new mysterious Green Ranger. He seems a little bit bigger. He seems like he has more of a mature stance to him. Mind you, this is just an observation, right? This is not coming from pure facts of Boom spilling out any goods, you know, because they kind of want it to be a mystery, right? But it just makes sense to me. Lord Draken just got in town. So you think he's just going to be chilling in the command center? No, no way. I think this is a chance for them to do something different with Draken, where he's no longer Lord Draken, but he has to learn how to be a Power Ranger. I think that's what they're going to do with his character. You know, he's really learning what it means to be Tommy Oliver for himself and what it really means to work with a team versus dominating the world. This is kind of his chance to get redemption. And I look at it from two standpoints. So yes, you have these two different story arcs that are going on, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. In Power Rangers, you have the Omega Rangers, and apparently Draken's going to be an ally to them. I believe, like I said, you remember, I think they're going to coincide at some point. Something is going to bring them together. And I feel that, yes, even though we know Draken is going to be an ally to the, you know, the Omega Rangers, he starts off in the Mighty Morphin series, but, you know, eventually maybe that thing that brings them together is Draken. You know, maybe he's that thing that's like, okay, you know, I started off here and now I have to drift off and now I got to go face my past and the consequences of what I did in Shattered Grid, you know, leaning him back to go to his own world or something like that. You know what I mean? That just makes sense to me when I think about, okay, why are they bringing this character back? Why are they bringing this character back? Why do we have the Omega Rangers? Why do we have these two different teams? You know, like, and with it being Tommy's Ranger, his power, his old power, to me, it just makes sense. It would seem out of place having someone else don that other than himself in some form or fashion. And with Draken being back, it only makes sense. And if you look at the character, even from the beginning, we're talking about Lord Draken for a second. If you guys remember when he was first introduced, they did the same thing. This is nothing new. Wasn't there supposed to be a Lord Draken comic? Yes, there is. It is a mini-series. So, I think it consists of like 3 different issues. Ranger Slayer just came out. So keep your eyes open on that on this channel. I will be reviewing it. I get everything digital. And I tried to go by the comic book shop, but they didn't have it. They had like 4 copies for the Ranger Slayer, but they couldn't find it in the comic book shop. So I have to wait. So, but I think this upcoming week, it'll be on my digital roster. So I'll have it, be able to read it, and then I'll have the review out for you guys to watch as well. But yeah, the Draken, we get a miniseries. I think it's just going to be like 3 comics. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But again, if you guys remember when they first introduced Lord Draken, what they did was the same thing that they're doing with this mysterious new Green Ranger. We were like, who is this new Ranger? He kind of looks like the White Ranger. He kind of looks like, you know, the Green Ranger mixed with White Ranger. And then some people were like, well, could this new Ranger be Lord Zed? Because he has a red visor. And, you know, all these different ridiculous things that we were talking about when the character of Lord Draken was first revealed. We didn't even know how to pronounce his name. We were like, is it Draken or Drakon? I don't know. You know, like, but we learned all these things, and eventually we learned that it was an alternate dimension Tommy Oliver. Maybe it's the Green Ranger Tommy clone wizard. Ooh, that would be cool. You know, I've always thought about that. There's been so many different theories with that with this clone, but you know, I don't see them doing that. I think obviously I think it would be cool, but maybe this is a remix of that where you have Draken. Maybe you don't even have that clone anymore. Maybe Draken is kind of replacing that situation. Because again, Boom is they've been pretty consistent as far as I would say the TV series and certain little things, but they've also done their own little spin, you know, in terms of these characters and the story. So I don't know, man. Anything's possible. But again, you know, this is nothing new. They did the same thing with Draken when they first introduced him. And now, with Draken being introduced back into the comics, and we have this new mysterious Green Ranger. If you look at the art, even, you know, for, you know, the thumbnail on this video, uh, it almost has this dominating, mysterious, you know, look to it, you know, in terms of the Green Ranger looking down on all the other Rangers, right? That doesn't seem like a Matt Reeves to me. That doesn't seem like a Zordon necessarily to me. That seems more like a Lord Draken type of perspective. You know, when I look at the art, when I look at these little things and you add it all up together, it's like it only makes sense. And that's something that I'm banking on. That's something that I'm hoping for. It will feel out of place being anyone else. But that's my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys think about, you know, this new mysterious Green Ranger. I personally think it only makes sense that, hey, they brought back Draken. It only makes sense that, you know, it's going to be him that's this new mysterious Green Ranger. You know, and this is his chance to do something. This is Boom's chance to do something different with this character. Because even after Shatter Grid, I was like, well, man, Lord Draken was an amazing character, but where do you go from there? What happened to him? What do you do now? You can't shatter the grid again. You know, he can't just be trying to take over the world again. So what new can you do with that character? What else can you do? Make him go back to his roots. You know, make him go back to being the Green Ranger where he started, and make him kind of relearn the decision that, you know, he didn't make. You know, where he chose to stay loyal to Rita, now he has a choice to work with the team. Now he has to learn how to be a Power Ranger. Now he has to learn and embrace being a Tommy Oliver. And then going back to his world and, you know, accepting the consequences for what he did and whatever that is, whatever it looks like now, and, you know, the other world, the other dimension. So I think that would be interesting. That makes more sense to me as I observe, you know, what they're doing and the direction they're going with these comic books. So those are the theories that I've heard, you know, about Matt Reeves and Zordon. But me personally, from the beginning, I've always said it just makes sense to me that it's gonna be Lord Draken. I could be 100% wrong. They could be totally throwing us a curveball, and it could be somebody else. But to use a Tommy Oliver, a character so popular, to me it just makes sense. I don't see it being anyone else. So I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. Who do you think this new mysterious Green Ranger is? I'm gonna put my helmet up before I drop it or do something silly. And you know, they also have this. This is the Legacy Dragon Dagger, by the way. But they also have a Lightning Collection one that's coming out. You know, I don't really care. I'm not gonna get that. I think it's cool. I like the stand that it comes with, but you know, you get one, you already got one. You see too many of them, it's just like, you know, I already got one, so that's mine. So aside from that, yeah, again, post your comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Who do you think this new Green Ranger is going to be? I personally, like I said, I believe it's going to be Draken. It just seems like the obvious choice. So yeah, that's that. That's the comic book stuff. And that's kind of my thoughts on who this new mysterious Green Ranger is. Aside from that, I have been getting a lot of love on Facebook. Also, go follow me on there. And if you're on TikTok, go check your boy out, Sentai Fit. But I've been getting a lot of love on Facebook for this video I did over a year ago. And I didn't think about doing anything else with it, but it's called Power Rangers versus Super Sentai. And so basically the premise is, it's very comedic, it's very funny, but it pokes fun at both Power Rangers and Super Sentai and kind of digs into different facts. So if you're a fan of Power Rangers and Super Sentai, there's a lot of different references that you might understand if you're a fan of those things. So I did this video like over a year ago, and I've been getting a lot of love on Facebook for it. And with all of that, and with all of the demand for it, you know, I've turned it into a series. So I already have 2 other episodes filmed. They'll be coming out this upcoming month, and there'll be a total of 6 episodes for you guys to watch of Power Rangers versus Super Sentai. Again, this is a comedic, you know, new series that I've been working on. I've done a lot of different skits and just a bunch of funny shit on my channel, but I wanted to do something more with that, you know, with the response that I've been getting as of lately. So there's that as well. So that's something you guys can look forward to on this channel. It's called Power Rangers versus Super Sentai. If you have not seen the first video, after you're done watching this, if you got time, go and check it out. It's on my channel. I actually have a playlist for it as well, and all the other videos will be added in periodically. So you can go watch the first one, Power Rangers versus Super Sentai. Go straight to my channel, and I have playlists, so you can just go check it out there, and you'll see it. And then make sure you go watch it, comment. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Guys, we are so close to 4K. But I need you guys' help. I need your help to get there. I can't do it without you. So this platform means a lot to me, especially during this time right now. You guys have been amazing, and I appreciate all the consistency and the support that I get from you guys. Like this, you guys make the channel what it is. And so I really, really do appreciate everyone's help and all the support. But again, I want to get to 4K and above, but we're almost at 4K, and I need your help to do it. So yeah, share my videos out. You know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I have video content coming out weekly. So a lot of new stuff is on the way, I promise. And again, if you're on TikTok, follow me, Sentai Fit, same name. Facebook, I just go by my regular name, Karan Jones, or you can type in Sentai Fit and you can find my fan page that I have on there as well. And on Instagram, same name, Sentai Fit. So yeah, man, that's it. A lot of news and a lot of crazy stuff coming for Power Rangers. Again, this upcoming week I will have the review for the Ranger Slayer #1. I'm excited to read that. I wanted to have it out this weekend, but I couldn't find it anywhere else, and I've already been charged for it on my Comixology account, so I just have to wait until, you know, I get it, you know, this upcoming week, which I'll actually have 2 reviews for you guys because we have Mighty Morphin 51, I believe. It's like 51 or 52, I can't remember. So I'll have that review and then Ranger Slayer, so we'll be able to, you know, talk about that. And Jamal Breezy, thank you. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So a lot of new stuff is coming, you guys. A lot of cool stuff. Now, I do want to open up the table to you guys for this. And this is kind of giving you guys a chance to voice your opinion and the kind of things that you want to see in my videos. So I have the Power Rangers versus Super Sentai comedic, you know, skit series that's going to be coming out. The first episode is already up, so go and check it out. But what other Power Rangers, we're talking about seasons, so what other seasons of Power Rangers and of Super Sentai would you like to see show up in my skits? Because remember, they're all in one room, and they're kind of like bashing each other and making fun of each other and saying like, who's the best and who's the best, and then sometimes at the end a fanboy will walk in and say, this is why neither one of you guys are the best, but why I love both of you, kind of a thing, you know. But what top 5 seasons of Power Rangers and top 5 seasons of Super Sentai would you like to see together in one of my videos? Because that's typically what I do. It's 5 and 5. So that's something. I want to open the table up, you know, to hear you guys just, you know, kind of perception on that. If there are certain teams you want to see in the show, let me know. So I'm excited to do that. Other than that, you guys, that's pretty much it in terms of anything else I can think of. I know we had a bit of a scare recently on TikTok where there's a lot of people who were, you know, concerned about the app being shut down. I haven't heard anything as of recently. The app is still going. All of my followers are still over there, you know, so I'm trying to drag them over here. But yeah, again, if you're on there, go and check me out. But if not, you know, don't worry about it. I'll always post different compilations of those videos, so you're able to see them here on the channel too. So I do a bunch of crazy, goofy stuff on TikTok, and it's all Power Ranger related. I think it was all a rumor. Yeah, you know, I don't know, man. But it was a big ass rumor though. It was big, because mind you, there was one day there was a glitch in the app where it shut down and all of your views and all your followers were gone, and everybody was like, well, what the hell? I guess this is it. We're done. And then like an hour later, it was back up. So I think it was just a glitch, apparently. But there's been a lot of talk, about the government apparently shutting down TikTok. So I don't know. As far as I know, I haven't heard any news this week. So I like it. I never even wanted to use TikTok at first, but I kept getting bugged and pushed by other people like, hey, you need to go do it. Like, I think you're somebody that could be successful on it. You'll have a lot of fun with it. My wife was like, yeah, you need to do it. Why aren't you doing TikTok? And then I started doing it, and now she hates that I do it. So there's that. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're on there, follow me. If not, I'll post compilation videos as I typically do, where you guys can check them out here on the channel. Other than that, that is pretty much it, you guys. Yeah, I told you my thoughts on who this new mysterious Green Ranger is, who I believe him to be. That just makes more sense, to me, as I've, been kind of analyzing and thinking about the new story arc. It just makes sense that it would be Lord Draken, in my brain. But other than that, post your comments below. If you guys have any questions, I will try to answer them in the next live. Other than that, you guys stay healthy, stay blessed. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Much love, and I will see you guys on the next live and next video. Peace.